Okay, well, welcome everyone. We are at, oh man, already technical difficulties with my presentation. Silliness. Okay, welcome. My name is Debbie Gillespie. I'm a developer over in Academic Support Resources, and I'm really excited to welcome everyone to DevOps UMN 2017. This is the first time we've ever done this conference, so if there's some hiccups here and there, it's because we're kind of making this up as we go along, and but we're really excited everyone's here. I wanted to go over a brief history to kind of explain how it is we got here. How did we come about with a DevOps UMN 2017? So last summer, a bunch of us from the U attended DevOps Days Minneapolis. And if you haven't been to DevOps Days, I highly encourage you to attend next summer's DevOps Days. It's a fabulous conference, really well done. It's a 2-day deal, and learned a lot from that. Because we had so many people from the U attending, Marissa Brandt suggested to me we get everyone who came, invite everyone who attended DevOps Days. Let's get together and do kind of a debrief and talk about what we learned and think about ways we could improve the DevOps culture here at the University of Minnesota. And fortunately, that was really well attended. And 2 major things came out of it. There was a lot of good discussion, but 2 big action items that came out of it. One was the formation of tech people. One of the things we identified was that the communities of practice here at the University of Minnesota were kind of siloed. You've got your, code people and web people and net people, and I'm not covering all of the communities of practice, but they never intermingle, and we thought that was a bad thing. So we came up with the idea of let's fix that, and Tech People was born. We had our first Tech People meeting back in November, and it was a huge success. We had, I think, close to 200 people showed up for that. A lot of great talks. People, I think, really enjoyed it. The next Tech People meeting is going to be May 11th. That's a Thursday. It is not going to be in Walter because we were clearly way too big for Walter, and I believe it's going to be in the Mayo Auditorium. So it's going to be during the normal time slot that Net People happens, so it's going to be like a 9 to noon kind of a deal, and hopefully there'll be food provided. So that's the one action item that came out of it. The other big thing was this conference. We wanted to promote DevOps practices here at the university and reach a wider audience. So we decided to come up with a conference of our own, and here we are. Hopefully we succeed at that. So next thing I want to quick touch base about is the schedule. If you go to devops.umn.edu, that is the official website for the conference, and you will see the schedule for the day. Let's see. So right here, we didn't print anything out, so this is going to be your best source of truth as to where you need to be. The good news is this is a single-track conference, so just follow the herd, and you will probably end up where you need to be. The first part of the morning is all in here. All of the talks and panels happen in this room. During break time, if you want food, please go back up to the 3rd floor into 312. There is food there. We want you to eat as much of that so we don't feel like we over-purchased all the food. And then after lunch, we will be on the 1st floor for open spaces. What's going to be in each room will again be determined during the lunch hour. And then at 2:20, we'll be back in here for a panel and our final talk for the day. So that's enough on the schedule. This is just quick to mention, so I've already gone over most of this. The other thing that's worth noting is that we also have room 330 reserved, and that is for overflow seating during the lunch hour. We are also going to put if you during registration indicated you have a dietary restriction, go to room 330. We're going to put your pizza in there. If you didn't indicate a dietary restriction, hands off. Those are not your pizzas. Your pizzas are in room 312. You can eat the pizzas in room 330 if it's like 5 minutes to 1 and clearly everybody has had their fill of pizza, then they're fair game. But please make sure that we have enough food for those who indicated they have a dietary restriction. And then, yeah, the open spaces are going to be on the first floor. We're planning to have signs posted so you can find which rooms are available. Also, if you need space for during the day, I mean, feel free to use any of these rooms if they're not occupied, if you need to take care of something work-related. Third floor is probably going to be your best bet for that. I should also mention, since there's probably people who are not familiar with this building, if you need restrooms, they are always on that end of the building. So no matter what floor you're on, go down to the end of the building and you will find bathrooms. Okay, mention about video recording. Hopefully you all caught that we were having problems because this is recorded. This room will be recorded, so I just want to make sure everyone knows that the open spaces will not be recorded. So, and neither will lunch because that would be terribly boring. Code of conduct. I'm hoping, so I sent out a couple emails with links to the code of conduct. I'm hoping people got a chance to take a look at that. I'm not going to go over it in detail. But I do want to stress that there is a code of conduct and that we do take this seriously. If at any time you feel unwelcome or somebody's behavior is not becoming of this conference, please notify one of us on the committee. We really want to make this a welcoming environment for everyone who's here. And with that, I want to introduce the committee, because if you have any questions or problems at any point during the day, find anyone on the committee. We do have on our an organizer on our name tag, so that'll also help identify who we are. But I'm going to ask everyone in the committee as I call your name, please stand up so people know who you are. Alex Rose from College of Biological Sciences, Andrew Zenk from Polar Geospatial Center, Corwin Atkins sadly is not here today. He's ill, so was unable to join us, but he's from the Office of Information Technology. There's myself, Jake Gage from OIT. Where's Jake? He's upstairs. Okay. Well, Jake's upstairs. John Trammell from OIT. Jonathan Waltz from College of Education and Human Development. And Samantha Grumdahl from College of Science and Engineering. And I'd like to take a moment just to give everyone a round of applause, because this was a lot of effort and work to put this together. So thank you, everyone. They've been a fabulous group to work with. We've been meeting on initially it was like monthly, then bi-weekly, then weekly, and it was, we would have never pulled it off if we didn't have everyone's contributions to this. Open spaces. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about open spaces. Already I mentioned that we need your participation for voting on the co-eventer page. And there's a link to that co-eventer page. I don't know if I went over that, but to get to the co-eventer page, you just need to, hold on a second. Oh. Well, okay. Andrew is working on fixing the locked voting. Evidently probably said, today's the day, no more voting, but we're willing to let you vote until noon. So, yeah, and I was just mentioning if you want to look, so go to devops.umn.edu under open space idea submission. There is a link to the co-eventer page. That is how you get there, but you'll have to give us maybe another 10 to 15 minutes to unlock that so everyone can vote. So yeah, the other thing I wanted to mention about open spaces. So again, this is part of where the code of conduct comes into play. Please keep all your, so this is, I want to mention that this is a great opportunity. We have a large number of people from many different parts of the university who are in attendance today. And so this is a great opportunity to have interesting discussions about any topic that we choose. But it's important that in this process, we are respectful of everyone. And, it's easy, and I've been guilty of this myself, where you're talking about something, it's like, well, obviously this, and if you do blah, 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 and you end up making people feel kind of dumb, and that's not okay. Don't make people feel dumb. We're all from many different backgrounds, we have many different perspectives, and we're in different parts of our career, and everyone's got valuable stuff to offer. So with that being said, I don't want to encourage, I'm not trying to discourage disagreement. In fact, I want to encourage you to disagree. Part of how we get better as a university is to have those challenging conversations and to have different perspectives, and that's one of the things I'm really hoping to see in these open spaces, that we've got people from management, people who are developers, people who are sysadmins, people from colleges, units, Office of Information Technology, all over the place, and hopefully we are bringing to this conversation different backgrounds, different perspectives, and it's important that we hear those different perspectives, because if everyone's from the same background, how do you come up with new ideas? You don't, because everyone comes from the same place. And and that's in essence, why diversity is so important, because we need to have new ideas and new perspectives in order to come up with new ways to do things and be innovative. The other thing I want to encourage you to do is to meet people. The cool thing about this conference is I know a lot of people here because we all work for the same place. But there's also a lot of people I don't know here. And I encourage you to find people you don't recognize and hold out your hand and introduce yourself, because it's important that we continue to grow our network and collaborate across departmental lines and get to know one another. So I encourage everyone to take time to really grow that network and get to know people. And again, I mean, the cool thing is this is a university conference. So that's one thing, I've been to a lot of conferences and I'll meet new people, but then I never talk to them again because I don't actually work with them. But there's a chance if you meet new people here, you will talk to them again. We are all actually working for the same company. And it can also be handy, sometimes you end up finding that it's like, oh, you're that person I've seen on Slack, or I've seen emails from you. It's nice to have a face to go with that name. And finally, I want to encourage everyone to have fun, because although this is a conference and it's serious stuff, it doesn't have to be super serious. Enjoy yourselves and get the most out of what you can out of this conference and have a good time. And with that, I'm going to turn this over to John Trammell, who has graciously stepped into MC at the very last minute because Corwin was going to do that. So thank you all.